Alright, if you're a Windows user, then this video is for you. If you're on Mac or Linux, you've already watched the previous video and you can simply skip this one. Now, Node runs exactly the same on Windows, OS X, or Linux. It's the terminal or the command prompt where the commands are slightly different. Now, the important ones we're going to be using throughout the course are exactly the same, the ones related to Node, but when we use the terminal to navigate between folders, I'll explain what that means in a moment, the commands are a little different, so it's best to talk about them separately. To kick things off, we're going to go ahead and navigate into the desktop in our file viewer. Once we're in the desktop, I want to make a new folder where we can store the contents of this course. I'm going to call the folder node-course, and it's going to sit there right on our desktop. Now let's go ahead and open up the terminal and I'll show you around. From the Start menu, you can use the search feature to find a program called Command Prompt. The words command prompt and terminal and command line can all be used interchangeably. They essentially mean the same thing. The operating systems just choose to call them different. Alright, from here, you should see something like this. This is the command prompt in Windows. It's pretty simple. It gives you a space to run a command. Your computer is going to run the command and it's going to print any output, if there is any. Let's take a look at a really basic command, just so we can see what I'm talking about. One command we can use is called echo, E-C-H-O. Echo is a little useless, although in this case it's fun. All it's going to do is take whatever we give it, some sort of sentence, and it's going to print it back in the command prompt. I'm going to type echo followed by a space. Echo is the command, and now we're going to pass the command an argument or a variable. I'm going to have two quotes, and inside of them I'm going to type hello world, just like that. Now once your command looks like this, you can go ahead and hit the enter key, which is going to run the command. If I hit enter, you can see sitting right here, hello world prints to the screen. Congratulations, that is your first terminal command. Now if you're comfortable with that, let's move on to the thing that we actually need to be able to do in order to move forward with this course. Before we do it in the terminal, let's go ahead and do it inside of the desktop. Inside of the Finder, what we're going to do is simulate what we're going to be doing inside of the terminal. I'm going to start in my desktop folder. And what I'm going to want to do is change directories. Now inside of the File Explorer, in order to change directories, all I have to do is double-click the folder, and now I'm seeing the contents of the Node course folder, which is, of course, empty. We want to do that same thing, only inside of the command prompt. Every time you run a command in the terminal, it's run from your current directory, whatever folder you've chosen to navigate to. By default, back in the command prompt, you can see I'm in the users Andrew folder. In order to get into the Node course folder, we're going to have to run a new command called cd, which is short for change directory. Now this is going to get a little confusing for a moment here, but bear with me. We're going to get started by navigating to the desktop, because we know we have to get to the desktop in order to get to our Node course folder, which is indeed in the desktop. It's sitting right here. When you start your command prompt in Windows, it starts you in your users folder. In my case, my user is called Andrew, and I'm sitting right here. I can type dir, which is short for directory, hit enter, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff printed out. One of the important things is this fourth line. It's telling me the current directory I'm running commands from. Just like we saw up above, it's from users Andrew. Down here I also see a list of all the files and folders inside of this directory, one of them being desktop, which is exactly what we want to navigate into. Using dir, we were able to explore the contents of our current folder. Using cd, we're going to be able to change to a new folder. In order to navigate into desktop, I'm going to type cd followed by a space, and in this case, all cd expects is the name of the folder to navigate into. Desktop. If I run this command, you can see now, sitting right here, I'm in Users, Andrew, Desktop, which is exactly what we want. By running cd followed by a space followed by the folder name, we're able to change the directory that we're running from in the terminal. If I run dir again, you can see I have my node course folder sitting right here. In order to navigate into that, I'm going to have to run cd again, specifying the exact name of the folder. And that's your challenge for this video. I want you to take a moment and pause the video and navigate into node course. Once you're in there, run the dir command and make sure the directory of says users, Andrew, desktop, node course. When you're done, you can go ahead and click play. Take a moment, pause the video, cd into node course, then click play. All right, hopefully that wasn't too much trouble. All we have to do is run the cd command again. Remember, that's short for change directory. Change directory expects the folder name, node course. Then when you hit enter, it runs the command, and now we're running the command prompt from a completely new location on our computer. We've successfully navigated in to the node course folder. And that's all we really need to do to get started using Node. I wanted to give you a quick rundown on a couple important commands, one being dir, which we explored. Remember, dir prints out the current folder and the contents of the folder. And cd. cd takes a folder name to navigate into. You can also navigate out one folder back to the desktop by running cd space ... Now I'm running from the desktop. Alright, that's all for this video. I know it was a little dry, but it is essential. We can't start running even the most basic Node programs without having a basic understanding of the terminal. For now, don't worry, we're going to kick things off in the next video by really diving deep and creating a Hello World example in Node.js, so stay tuned and I will see you soon.